Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, D-Palm, and we're back with quick snaps for Week 15. Let's start where we finished with the Monday Night Football game as the Atlanta Falcons, your Atlanta Falcons, held on to persevere against the evil, awful Buccaneers. If they hadn't gotten fucking set, he wouldn't have had to say it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Falcons looked uneven, same way they've looked all season. They found a way to win, though, and that's really all that matters. Another team missing a field goal at the end is a way to win. It counts, and you can fight me if you disagree. I think that the Birds have a chance to do what they did last year, finish strong and send a message going into the playoffs. I'm not sure if they will, just based on what we've seen on this offense. But I know Magic doesn't look right all year. Maybe Ryan's playing hurt. I don't know. Maybe Sarkisian's not right for this offense. I don't know. There have been flashes, but you'd like to see more consistency. Let's go back to Thursday. Color Rush on Thursday Night Football. Broncos and Colts. Whole lot of orange on the field, whole lot of eyes hurting. I hope you didn't watch it. Broncos won 25-13. The Lions would beat the Bears on Saturday as we got our first slate of Saturday games now that college football has moved into the bowl season. They beat the Bears 20-10. The Chargers fell to the Chiefs 13-30. Remember when we thought Alex Smith was an MVP candidate? Yeah, me neither. Sunday games, Sunday action. The Dolphins could not capitalize on their big win over the Patriots and fell to the Bills 24-16. Aaron Rodgers is back, but the Panthers held on to beat the Packers 31-24. Rodgers had a great game in his comeback. There was, of course, moments where you're like, hey, he hasn't played in 3 months. But, of course, that's going to happen. I'm not here for Cam Newton rounding in the form of this time of year. I'm not here for this defense playing the way it's playing. Thomas Davis got a 2-game rip for a big hit. It's the second big hit this receiver's taken this year. Maybe that's a factor. TD does not have a history of being violent or history of being giving out dirty hits, and that defense is already depleted physically, so we'll see what they do about this appeal. The Ravens beat the Browns 27-10. Browns may go 1-16. that I don't think it wasn't like this case where I was like, oh, the Ravens games are only shot to win one. But if you look down the stretch, they got the Bears who are 4-10, and the Steelers who might have nothing to play for, but are still better than the Browns with nothing to play for. So we'll see how it ends. I don't feel great about it for the Browns. There's rumors that there's been a GoFundMe around the city for a parade if they do go 0-16, which would be the most Brownsiest things of all time. The Jaguars continue to be the blue in the block, 45-7. And so when I was wrestling in high school, I didn't start off very good. And I lost a lot, and that's, whatever. By the end of it, I was very good at wrestling, and I was been winning a lot. And I'd wrestle kids who were like me when I started, and my dad would say, You got beat up by somebody once. Go beat up somebody else so that they learn they can beat someone else later. Basically, when it's your turn to be the bully, and the Jaguars have leaned full in on this. I love the fact that no one seems to care the quarterback is still terrible. The thing is, he's not even terrible. I think the last 4 weeks he's actually a top 5 quarterback as far as quarterback rating. This past Sunday he finished 21-29 for 326 and 3 touchdowns, no picks. I'm not saying that the Jaguars are good or that the Blake Bortles is good, but they seem to be, right now, the best-looking thing in the AFC, particularly because of that defense, which absolutely stifles people. The Vikings beat the Bengals 34-7. Teddy Bridgewater threw his first pick in a couple years. But, let's not sit with Case Keenum. Rightfully so. I think Bridgewater's going to be the starter next year and for the future of this franchise. But right here, right now, you got to sit with the hot hand. You got to sit with the guy who has gotten you as far as you can. The Saints beat the Jets 31-19. It'd be a lot easier for me if the Saints and Panthers would just lose. So I didn't have to. Anyway, the Eagles held on to beat the Giants. Nick Foles threw 4 touchdowns. They win the AFC East. They get their first round bye locked in. Nick Foles looked like vintage Foles. Looked like Chip Kelly Foles. 24-38, 237, 4 touches. Eli Manning, we had the ballot this past weekend. 37-57, 434, 3 touches and a pick, which probably wasn't very timely because that's how Eli Manning gets down. Washington Redhawks decided to beat the Cardinals 20-15. Neither one of these teams is very good. And it's been interesting to watch what's happened in Washington this year because, right now, their record's 6-8. And if you told me they'd won 6 games this year, I'd have called you crazy. They somehow overachieved and underachieved at the same time. And brava to the Washington professional football team for pulling that feat off. The Rams took the hammer to the Seahawks. So for so long, the Seahawks have run that division with an iron fist, and there have been little pockets. There have been like, oh yeah, the Niners are competitive, and oh yeah, maybe occasionally the Cardinals. But then no one ever suspected that our first-year head coach coming off a team that had a moribund offense will be able to do what they're doing. The son of a bum has really revitalized his defense. Aaron Donald might be the best defensive player in the league. And what they did to the Seahawks and what Todd Gurley helped do to them shows me that this is going to be a problem come playoff time, and I'm not excited for it at all. Best wishes to all my St. Louis friends, because this could have been you guys. Like they shipped the team out of town. They're bad for a year, and they bring in this wunderkind who is coming out here and blowing out teams, blowing out perennial playoff teams who look like they might not make the big dance this year in the Seahawks. The Patriots beat the Steelers in the wildest game of the weekend. Last 2 minutes are people say they watch NFL football. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. That last 2 minutes was nail-biting. It was great. Quality of play was meh. But you know what? We all knew what to catch. And I said it was a catch at the time, but we all remember that this league is crazy, and some things that should be catches aren't always catches. And that's why, you don't leave it up to the refs. That's what they always say, but God, that's a hard one to swallow if you're the Steelers. Hopefully we'll have AB back by the playoffs, and they can really make some noise, because they're a fun team to watch. I don't know why they get cute at the goal line or why they get cute in close range situations. I think that's kind of the Belichick effect. You think he's just going to outsmart you when in actuality, he's going to have 8 answers for every question. So you decide to get cute with a fake spike, and look what it gets you. A stupid throw with a bad pick. The Niners beat the Titans. Garoppolo might have something real here, and Mariota might be in trouble in Nashville. And the Cowboys held on to beat the Raiders. Look, if I bring out a piece of paper to put between the ball and the marker, and that's to tell you that it's a first down, but the paper clearly fits between the ball and the marker, I've gambled on this game. That's all for this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in for the quick snaps. Quick heads up. Pay attention to this feed, because a very special UD pod is coming up on Friday. We're going to have special guests. We're going to talk about the Me Too movement finally hitting the sports world. We're going to talk about this past weekend, but more news broke on Monday, so I figured it's safer to grab it at the end of the week. Hopefully, nothing else crazy breaks Friday, but that's not how 2017 seems to be working. That was your show. This is your outro. See you guys later this week.